Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Grumpy Old Spurs. We have a full complement of grumpy so-and-sos tonight. What have you got to be grumpy about being a Spurs fan? Well, give us an hour of your time, and I'm sure we can let you know why. But, thanks for all the 6 people watching live. I'm sure Keith is in the chat, as we have told him. He needs to be on time from now on. But let's introduce the panel. Firstly, top right, grumpy guy from down under, Davo. How are you, mate?
I'm very well indeed. As Connor did say in the green room as we were eating our canapes, you are Mr. Mahogany Man. Look at that. And Kerry's clocked you straight away. Just to point out, in the last couple of weeks, whilst you've had your trotters up, as Danny Dyer would say, you know, we had about 30,000 views when the show opens. Isn't that right, Connor and Leon? And you know, we're you know, it's great to be on. Great to see you back again. And before we go around, has one quick question. When you left, where were we up to? I just want to be clear where we up to in our transfer window.
When we had left, we were in talks with West Ham for Mohamed Kudus. And I don't think it had quite got to the point where we'd been told it may be a difficult deal to do.
Right, but then this is like a transfer handover show. We're going to get you up to date with all the news. But great to have you back.
Thank you. And down in the bottom, long time no see, Leon. Thanks for coming back on, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Buzzing with all the transfer news. It's an exciting time to be a Spurs fan. It's hard to be grumpy. And we've got our great saviour steering the ship. Saying before your tan looks pretty epic. You remind me of Rodney in that Only Fools and Horses episode where he's under the sun thing and Dell turns it up.
He's under a lamp.
Under a lamp for a couple of hours, and he wears a white suit, and he looks like a swan vesta. So you caught the sun, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, what I was thinking of was obviously I'm trying to become better at this hosting malarkey after I've been watching loads of other shows. So I thought I'd get the tan so I could be a little bit more like Des O'Connor, you know, the tan and the shine. So
do you know what? It kind of reminds me a bit of Graham Norton for some weird reason.
Really?
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
More masculinity that's powering on through.
Well, I like your little beard anyway.
Oh, thank you. And the bit of grey in here.
Honestly, we'll WhatsApp each other afterwards because it's a family show. But yeah, You're looking good, mate. You're looking good.
Thank you. And next to him, Connor, how are you? Because I've been watching while I've been away trying to get my Spurs content. I've been looking at some YouTube videos. I haven't seen you as much as I did the few weeks before I went. Have you been taking a breather, or have I been looking in the wrong places?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I've had a little detox. I've had a lot going on, but never let down this show though. Have I? I've been on this show every time, I think. So
you have.
Yeah,
you are a top man.
It's good to see you back. It's good to see you back.
Well, it's because you give out such good content, mate. That's why all those people wanted you on. But I think you were. Did you just feel like in the end that you were cutting yourself too thin, going on all these shows too much?
Well, yeah, I just say the same stuff over and over.
Yeah,
again,
it does get a bit like that, doesn't it? Though when you. Yeah,
maybe for Connor, it's when he comes to do this show that it's obviously he doesn't have to apply his brain that much. The rest of us, a bunch of bumbling old idiots, is really what it is. You know, it's a bit of like light listening, isn't it? You don't have to think too much. We're like a Richard.
Every other show, like any other Spurs content you watch, is so positive, isn't it? So he probably just comes on here because he needs to
and professional.
Yeah, and he needs to get rid of that anger. So, Dave, you're the guy that does the run sheet. While I'm off sunning myself on holidays and doing all the other things I love to do, you're at home because it's the winter in Australia. You're in with your sweaters on and your joggers, thinking of what we can talk about in the rundown. Because there's always so much that we've got to try and cram into this hour. We can't possibly do a transfer show because too much to talk about.
So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to have a look at the the friendlies, which Leon was at both of them. He managed to go to both games in the day, which is fantastic. Then we're going to go live and direct to the Morgan Gibbs-White Spurs press conference unveiling, lifting the scarf next to the picture of Alan Sugar. He's come back in to do it. Then, obviously, as usual for the summer, we have got our transfer smorgasbord, which for us to unpick at. And then we are a new feature. Well, it's new. We've only did it last week. Reasons to be cheerful. 1, 2, 3. We'll be doing that as well. So we've got a lot to get through, and we don't even have time for Sacred Cow, which I know that the masses are very upset. But before we get into this, and it would be remiss of me, we did have, and I think we can use this term now, friend of the show, Gareth Dates. We'd actually friend of the show. I love that expression. Friend of the show. He was on promoting Hot Shot Tottenham, Spurs in the 80s out September. He will come back for part 2. So Mahogany Man will get his opportunity to go down the 80s.
Yes.
So the question is, on your holiday, did you read the Spurs in the 90s book?
Mate,
Oh,
I'm sorry. I did plan to read it, but I was reading a fiction book by a new author I'd found, and I just started another book of his after. I'm really sorry. I think part of it, Dave, was that I was now and then looking at Twitter and looking for Spurs content, and I just don't think I could face anymore. After all the shenanigans that went on while I was away, I just wanted to switch off from Spurs when I had the chance. So
we're trying to get new friends of the show. We had Jim from Oso Spurs on last week. We had Gareth on. Keith turns up late for both Gareth and Jim. We're trying to be professional, and you still haven't read the book.
I will get round to it, Dave. You know I will.
All right, let's get on to 2 friendlies in one day, to quote Crowded House. And so we were at Wickham, and was it an hour or 2 hours or 4 hours later, we were at Kenilworth Road. So Wickham was at home at Enfield Way, right next to Tot Hotspur Way, right next to Eric Dyer's allotment. And then we were at Luton. So you can spot Leon in both these pictures here. So maybe over to Leon. You went to both games. What did you think?
Yeah, it's an exciting day, mate. Really good to see the lads in action, and it was good to see a lot of new faces on the pitch as well. That was quite inspiring, and the football displayed, like especially the Luton game, the attacking side of it was sensational. I think there was a point. It might have been first half, left hand side. Johnson, I think he beat his man. I mean, it was worth the money. It was worth the money. I think he took him on for pace and beat him. And it was like, it's one of those, when we all went to Barcelona and Mora scored.
Yeah,
it was 1-1, and we were like, fucking hell. Connor was going absolutely mad. He threw that pint of beer in your face. Anyway, but it was one of those, like, we were just like, oh my God, this is like the Champions League semi-final again. So that was really good. It was two really exciting games, to be honest with you, mate.
And did you pop into Caesar's Palace Luton straight after the Luton game?
I mean, I was born in Luton, and it's a horrific place. It wasn't good when I was young, and that's a long time ago. It's even worse now. You don't want to be hanging around in Luton, and I say that as someone who strolls around South London at 2:00 in the morning. Luton is not a good place. So Connor did say about going there, but I was like, look, let's get back to Tottenham. Let's get back to kind of home turf where it's a bit friendly. And we went, for the older listeners, we went down it was that club on the high road, Memory Lanes. Remember that one that used to be open, Memory Lanes? We went in there. I mean, I didn't think we could get in there, but Connor's a member. And he there was no queues. We just got straight in, and there's that back room where all the stuff happens. And again,
Chelsea David, a blue comedian.
I mean, I don't know if the girls called themselves Chaz or Dave. I don't know what the names were, but there was a bit of a performance going on, and Connor just got us straight in. He was like an old friend to them. He was up on stage loving it, talking about the financials and all of that. So
but they were loving that.
I heard that the MC introduced him as last word on Spurs' very own Connor. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's when Leon got up and dropped the nut.
Exactly. So after that summary of those 2 games, because you were live and there, Connor, you're a big fan of Levy Vision. I know that you've got subscriptions, 5 subscriptions to Levy Vision. Did you manage to capture the highlights of both games?
Any excuse to give him more money. So
Good,
so that we can fund these transfers. So yeah, I've got 5 subscriptions. I caught the highlights as Leon said, scintillating as always with these pre-season games. But I genuinely think Luton, from what I saw of it, has got to be the worst pre-season friendly I've ever watched. But it might be Tottenham Thursday when we play Arsenal.
This is true. This is very true. So, can we read anything? So we've now played, have we played 3 games now?
Yeah.
Which is just about getting the players fit. Can we read anything into this?
Mate,
anyone?
I mean, like the everybody says, don't they, it's about minutes in legs, which it obviously is. Fitness is a big thing. We've got a bloated squad, so we need to give these players games, don't we, in case they're called upon. But I didn't watch it, and I'm not ashamed to. If I was going and I was going to sort of see some people there and who I knew and meet up with a couple of people, I'd sort of, that's what I'd have to do to watch it. But watching them through Spurs play or even watching them on telly, I've just got to the point now over the years where you just sort of know it's, I can remember going to Watford when Klinsmann signed. Yeah. I went to that game and that was brilliant. The game weren't that great, but the atmosphere was fantastic. And they're the reasons sort of people go to these friendlies. But apart from that, these ones at the minute are just about getting the fitness up in the minutes in the legs. The ones against like Arsenal and Newcastle are just to get bodies over there, over that part of the world, sort of watching, aren't they? And gather more interest, and they get paid money to go over. So I don't think pre-seasons, I think the training, obviously they need it. You need a good pre-season, but I think in terms of like matches, friendlies anymore, that pre-seasons aren't what they used to be in terms of friendlies and games. They used to be, Dave and Leon, without taking the piss, but there used to be a little bit of competition still, didn't there, in those games?
Yeah.
Back in the 90s and before that when we used to go. But yeah, just my son watched it, and he came down after the Reading game, and he was buzzing because Vuskovic scored and came on and looked good. And he said the game wasn't too bad. He was asleep.
The optimism of youth. The optimism of youth.
But when he usually does try and find positives about seeing any sort of player, but he just said the Luton game was awful.
It was dire. Yeah,
he just said it was awful.
I think, but again, just being serious for a moment, like it's hard to kind of judge too much on pre-season friendlies. But it would have been nice to see slightly more kind of on the attacking front and a player or two doing something that kind of made you think, oh well, they look okay.
Get you off your seat, Leon. Is that what you're saying?
Just get me to move one of my bum cheeks would have been good. It wasn't even that. It was shit. It was shit. And I'm not going to start slating the manager or whatever. But I suppose, as Gibbo said, you look at the team, the squad. You look at the team that played Reading, for example. Some of those players are going to go on loan. Some of those players we need to sell. Basuma, for example. Richarlison played in the other game. I mean, he'll still play because no one's going to buy him, are they? Well, I mean, it's a weird. It must be a weird dynamic, and there's no one coming in to push them for their places.
Slow down. We'll get onto the smorgasbord shortly.
So I'm sure, like Connor can back this up, but it is like the reason we had to play those 2 friendlies, and we'll come on to this about the transfers, is because we have got so many players, and all those players, if you want to move them on whatever, you don't really want to be just saying, look, we don't want you involved. Well, I suppose you could. Do you just say, look, you're not involved with the first team. This is my squad so far. I want to add to it. You're not going to be part of it. Because we're crap at selling players. We can't move. We don't move anybody on quick enough. Where we are now, they're talking about, once again, we had all we'll come on to the transfers and that, but we had this, we've got to get one out. If we're getting one in, we've got to get one out. But at what point do you go, look, this is my squad. I can only have so many, and these are my fringe players. You guys, I'm looking at, we've got irons in the fire. We're looking at moving you on. Please go and look for other clubs because we are getting other players in and you are going to need to move on. But we're not, are we? The tour. Ben Davis has been a great servant, but he is our only fit left back.
Hang on. Everyone says that. It's Jed Spence can play.
He can't. No, Jed Spence can play left back. Van der Ven.
Hang on a second.
Van der Ven can play left back. Right. I suppose maybe not very well, but Vicario could play left back.
What's that?
Sorry.
What
I'm saying is,
hang on a minute.
Saying is like these play like Donnelly's been playing left back. He's not a left back, is he? He's a number 10.
Has the sun got to you already, right?
No, but
Jed Spence played in the Premier League last season.
Yes.
I don't know how many times as a left back and played well.
Yes, he did, Dave, but he's not a left back, is he?
Well,
he can play left back. He can play both. But if you're looking at a squad, I'd be looking at it going, we've got Porro and Spence as right backs. We've got Udogie and someone else who can play left back. That's not Ben Davis. Ben Davis is sort of like just part of the furniture and that now, and he sort of only comes in when we're down to the bare bones. He does, and that's not having a go, and that's just what he is. And then you can say, so we've got 4, but Spence can cover if something goes wrong. He can cover, but he's not a left back, is he?
Did you go to Disney?
Do you want him as off? Do you want him as off? Like what I'm saying is, I want a first choice left back.
Yeah, I'm happy with him as the backup. Did you go to Disney World?
Of course.
Did you do a small world ride? Did you go?
Oh, we did. Yeah, we don't like that one. My daughter hates it. She's scared of the little puppets. But
I can bet you had the right moan going around the small world. Finland. That doesn't look like Finland, etc. God almighty! Can you imagine being in the carriage behind him?
Connor, are you backing me up on this?
Come on,
you're backing me up.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with John's comment that, to be fair, Spence was probably actually better when he played left back than right back. But regardless, we've got 3 fullbacks, and we should have 4, right? Why you
we have got 4. We've got Archie Gray.
So look, I mean, this is just again, it's so Tottenham, isn't it? Going on pre-season tour, and Ben Davis, 1 is even on the plane, but 2 is actually playing.
Ben Davis is a lovely fella. What's the wrong? Come on,
I'm sure he is.
He is, and it sounds like we're knocking him, but not once in his. How many years? How many years has he been at Tottenham?
Since Bill Nick was in charge,
and not one of those years has he been first choice left back. He hasn't been seen as first choice left back, and we bought him as a left back ever.
Tonight's word is first choice left back. Proudly brought to you by Manscaped. Now, anyway, we've got to move on. Hang on, my Paratici earpiece is ringing. We can now go live to the Morgan Gibbs-White Spurs press conference unveiling. We've got Lord Sugar by the pitch. We've got the Spurs scarf ready to go. Here we go. Here it is. Here it is. It's a handover. It's like a handover, like of Terry Waite back in the day. He looks a bit like Terry Waite, doesn't he? And that's one for the kids. So here he is, Morgan Gibbs-White. He is next to our great leader. Leon's done his reno, so he has now got a full picture of Daniel Levy on his bedroom ceiling. But every time Leon goes to sleep at night, he looks up at Daniel. And here we go. So I managed to technologically do a recording for 2 minutes, 20 seconds, and an instant reaction. So let's go around the houses as to the who would like to ask the first question at the Morgan Gibbs-White unveiling. Leon, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, this is if ever there was something that summed up Tottenham under Enoch and Levy, it's this, isn't it? Because we had that 24 hours where even I, for a moment, thought, bloody hell, there is investment. we are having a go, as Paul O'Keefe said. We're signing. This is a really good player, someone that really does improve the side, and then of course nothing happens. It goes quiet, and then all the reports come out, and who knows what the truth is. I just think if we've bid a release clause and it's hit the release clause, the player's free to go. I mean, that's normally how it works. And the problem is even if Levy hasn't done anything wrong, there's 25 years of examples of exactly this kind of thing where we've bid for a player but just haven't quite been able to get it, and then we either don't spend the money or we go from a 60 mil player in this guy who's quality to a guy from Leicester who's got a release clause of 25 million. We never get like for like. We don't go from him until to another player of a similar quality. We get our hopes up that we're signing someone really good, and then we sign someone substandard, don't we? And that's
Bruno Fernandes to Gedson Fernandes.
I mean, again, you could every summer there's someone. It is a bit weird. The interview he did with the chairman on the pitch with the body language with his arms folded, and it was very strange. But okay, let's say Levy's not at fault for this, and we did want to spend an extra 60 million on him. Where's the next option of equal quality that's coming in for 50-60 million? Because we're not going to buy an attacking player for 50-60 million, are we? We're going to drop 25 on someone like the equivalent of an Odebear that just hangs around for years, contributes nothing, and that's why one of the reasons why we finished 17th. So
okay, not quite a question at the press conference here. And as the press officer for this press conference and the unveiling, I'm now going to hand over to last word of Spurs, Connor.
Yeah, I mean, look, I agree with a lot of what Leon said. I mean, there's a certain irony that, us finally acting like a big club we hoped and signing 2 players meant that everyone assumed we must have had investment or there's a change at the top, because we just know that's not the way that Tottenham ever act.
Signing 2 players.
Yeah, exactly.
We've never signed 2 players at the same day. I can't remember that ever at all. No. Carry on.
No, so that is absolutely the way that we should be operating this summer, regardless of whether there's investment or not, right? And obviously that's not the case. And look, I mean, it wouldn't shock you, would it, if we go and sign this fella for El Khanousi from Leicester? I know we're going to come on to the transfers later, but I think it was a bit of a hostage video, wasn't it? The press conference or the interview with Gibbs-White. There is a certain part of me, as much as I dislike Marinakis, there's a certain enjoyment I'm getting from someone like Marinakis getting something over on Levy, even if it's Tottenham has suffered.
That's
the real say-do, man. Yeah, exactly. So, but look, I think it's hugely disappointing, because I think we all wanted to see him play for Tottenham, even if he wasn't necessarily a complete priority. But the fact that another 2 weeks has passed now, so this window has just been 2 weeks waiting for the Anne's decision. Frank comes in, and then you've got this delay now, and nothing's happened. I don't know why this held up us moving on any other priorities in the squad, but this is the way of ENIC, and this is the way that we've run transfer windows for 25 years.
So let me just get this right. So it's known in football that you could be negotiating for more than one player in different positions and signing kind of 2 players within a week and things like that. Is that right? Is that right?
It's been done.
It's been done before.
You see, that's why you're on this show. That's why you're on this show. So, I know it's the last comment or question at this press conference unveiling. I can only do one more. So, Gibbo, William, Emmanuel Petit, Paulo Dybala. Where does this one rank for you in the great transfers of the ENIC era?
Oh, mate, I really like Gibbs-White. And when I was told, we sort of got a here we go in that, I was buzzing, because I think he's a really good player. I think he's a decent age. Yeah, he can get better. He's captain Forest, and I think we're sort of short on leaders, so I thought he'd be a good personality to come in. I thought he'd be and it's a really good thing. And I'm like Leon. I should have mug written on my head, because for 24 hours I thought, here we go. Like you see Paul O'Keefe and people say like that, we're having a go and there's got to be investment. You start believing. Then after a couple of days, I'm like, then we get the news that Marinakis isn't letting it happen, and I'm like, this ain't going to happen. And the reason I thought that people weren't having it, you're negative, blah, blah, blah. People like that guy, right? If he had to sell 4 of his other players to keep Morgan Gibbs-White, to make sure he won, he got what he wanted from that, because he didn't want to sell. Basically, this is the legacy of Levy. People do not want to deal with Tottenham Hotspur. They don't like. They just don't like doing it. And I just said he will do whatever he can to make that deal not happen. And I don't know what's gone on. You do watch that transfer video, where obviously he signed the contract, and you're looking at that,
and
thinking,
his wife and family just out of shot.
They've got bags over their heads and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
But I just had that feeling that it was going to happen. What really annoys me is that I wish, unless Tottenham had done something wrong, and they could they not have been a little bit more aggressive in their pursuit of him? Said, look, if you want to come, this is what's got to happen. This is what we've got to do. But it was just like, I mean, because they didn't even report us in the end, did they? They didn't report us to where, because it was meant to be that they were gonna take legal action, and I don't think they did. So, and I'm definitely with Connor. It's like, after all this is going on, and you think it's just more time wasted. Yeah, Lang might work in but we could still have started looking at other options. Even if he was going to sign, we could have been, the wheels are in motion now. We can go elsewhere. But it's just the sort of like nothing happening, which really annoys me. And it's at that point where you go, and I put something on Twitter from the lads group saying, we're not going to sign Morgan Gibbs-White. There never was any investment. It is just the same as me and Leon in the group we were in last year, saying the same things about sort of like transfer rumours that come up. And then, like, without being, you don't want to be cynical, but we lose out on the Gibbs-White deal. Then all of a sudden we get absolutely ridiculous links to players that are never going to come to Spurs. It's just like, I don't know. And we go in, we all expect us to sort of be, top 8 in the league? Without taking the piss, we look at ourselves and we should be a top 8 team, shouldn't we?
We should.
Do we look at but that's how we look at ourselves. And we're going into, we've not got the Europa League to, which I think we obviously did really well to win, but I don't think it was a stellar competition last year. And we are going levels above that in Europe now. Mm-hmm. And you look at it and we're just not doing anything, in my opinion.
Hang on a minute. Wait till we get to the transfer smorgasbord, and then you're going to be happy. So, Gibbo, where were you on the small world ride when you heard that Gibbs-White was not coming?
No, mate. I was just parking my car, waiting for a transfer to my cruise around the Bahamas day. So,
with Joe Lewis,
I was in an excellent. I was in an excellent mood when it came through that we were signing him.
Yes. And then you got on, and Uncle Joe was there, and he said, so what's going on?
It went downhill from there.
And how's Uncle Joe? Did he play a bit of deck quoits on the good ship of Viva?
No, he was a bit coy on the whole thing, and he kept going off and sort of like saying, I've got to take this phone call, and I thought, I was like, Zach, here we go, mate. They're in talks, they're sorting out the money, and then obviously, mate, nothing happened. I don't even think he knew about it. I think it was a Levy thing, mate. I think it was a PR stunt.
So let's move on in a second. But I think the thing to say is that, and this is going to shock all of you. If you're going to go in and buy a player from another Premier League club, and there's interest in other players in that club, you've got to go in early in the window to get the first one out, right? So Langer went to Newcastle. If we'd have got in to do this before Elanga, I think we'd have had a better chance of getting our man. I know that's revolutionary, but there you go. And the second thing is, to your point, Gibbo, is that obviously that as soon as Levy used to hear that a club was in financial fair play, it's like his equivalent of the Kama Sutra, and he's straight in there because he thinks there's a deal to be done, and that's exactly what happened with Brendan Johnson.
Yeah, and mate, I said this strikes us. You know, you always get that line toward when we're not going to sign anyone else, and Alistair Gold says, I think Tottenham will be looking at opportunities if an opportunity comes up. And I've just got a feeling that it was made common knowledge that, look, you can get Gibbs-White for 60 million, and they thought that's a decent deal, decent player. Let's go for it. It was an opportunity. And
I think just to finish all of this off is that something that I probably want to put on my gravestone. The Instant Reaction Show has brought in 11p in income to this channel. So,
every penny helps, mate.
I mean, if people don't think I'm a social media influencer after that, I don't know what more I need to do, really. But it's now time. Are we ready? Leon, are you ready? It's time for the transfer smorgasbord. It's our favourite part of the summer. Here we go. Here comes the smorgasbord. Here we go. Here comes the smorgasbord. We've got a lot to get through tonight. So first up, Leon, I'm going to hand this one to you. He's from Liverpool. His name's Harvey. Are you excited?
No, he's a fucking prick, isn't he? Absolute scumbag of a person. No, I don't want him. I borderline want Sol Campbell back. Maybe not that bad, but he is.
Whoa!
He is. You know, he is not a nice. I'm sure. You know, there's other football players that are not great personalities, but he's horrible. I don't think.
In what way is he horrible,
mate? The WhatsApp messages that I've seen and all kinds of stuff, like get off the. He's a proper scumbag. He's not even like a scumbag like Cantona kicking people or Keena. He's just like a proper little cunt. Sorry. I don't like him. So
really, I've got that feeling.
You've just demonetized this stream, Leon, with that.
Sorry about the swear words.
That'll be 10 pence gone.
No, I got to get that 10p. Oh, bloody hell, I got to find that 10p.
But no, firstly, again, it's one of those. It's a drop off in quality from Gibbs-White to this little shit, and then a player of questionable personality. Yeah, he did. He was taking the piss out of him when he was about 15. Christ, no, I don't want him, and I don't think.
Okay, we talk about questionable personalities, right? Are you saying that you want to go back to the halcyon days of Eddie the Eagle Edwards, Frank Bruno, sporting personality year type people, or do we want winners?
Even if he was a really good player, I wouldn't want him. He's just. You can't, as I think as Tottenham fans, you can't give Chelsea fans stick for liking John Terry and then sign this guy and support him. He's okay. I don't like him.
All right, so you've cocked a snoot at the smorgasbord already. Very quickly, just yes or no on Harvey. Connor first, then Gibbo. Yes or no?
No.
On Harvey, he's a no. Gibbo?
Nah, mate. No.
Right, so that's a resounding no to the first offering on the smorgasbord tonight. Now, making a warm return to the smorgasbord from last week, and this is a very leading question, Gibbo. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to claim this as an original thought. I was looking at our curmudgeons in crime. If we looked at the Tottenham YouTube world of grumpiness, the boy Hotspur and his cohorts sit very nicely alongside us for grumpiness. And the question that was put out there, we get I'll pronounce his name wrong. Palhinha in from Bayern. It was at Fulham. Are we just getting Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and all but name back in? Over to the Højbjerg's number one fan, Gibbo.
No, I mean, obviously, when we talk about it, I rated Højbjerg more than a lot of people, or I gave him more credit than a lot of people did. But, I think he'd be a decent signing. I think he does it very well. And we don't have anybody that can do that. He's probably one of I'd say he's probably one of the best in the world at doing what he does. Wrong, his age now. What is he, 30?
Yeah.
But I mean, it also seems to me a very Tottenham transfer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a move that's probably waiting. Sort of, you don't need to rush that deal through, because if you come in with the sort of right deal that's not going to be, too expensive, I think that deal's there to be done. So, but I'd definitely take him. I don't think we've got anyone else that can do that.
Okay.
Experienced. So yeah, I think that's a deal worth doing.
Okay, so we're very, very quickly, because of time. I mean, we covered this off last week, Connor, but you yes or no, Paulinho?
He's not my first choice.
Well, we're not at first choice
yes
now, are
no.
we?
Yeah, we're not there now.
And that's neither a yes nor no. Come on. Yes or no? It's not the fans forum here. We deserve answers. Look at that. That's a no.
No.
Look, we're not doing audio pods yet, but that was a no, in case we ever do an audio pod. Leon, yes or no?
It's a yes, but that's based on the fact that if we don't sign him, we're going to sign someone who's worse. If we're a proper football club, we're not bringing him in. But he's not. I don't think he's a terrible player. I think he's quite limited. I'd definitely take him. But that's because, like say, if we don't sign him, we're going to sign. I've got no idea. But
we need players who can improve us, don't we, Leon? That's the first and foremost. That's what we're desperate for.
Sorry, what did you just say, Gibbo? Do you want to say that one more time?
Players that improve us.
Enough of that chat.
I think. Listen, I think he could
do
I
a
can't
job.
even say it with a straight face. He could do a job for us. And I was about to say, if he's on loan, then we can use the money elsewhere. But we know that's not going to happen. So, yeah.
Holly's taken a break over the summer, but we haven't.
Like that.
We haven't. So therefore, our mental health is in a lot worse place. So I hope you're enjoying the summer, Holly. Right. The next one is now. I'm going to go to Connor first, because he's already been down the club shop. He's already ordered 2 kid-size shirts as presents. Sorry,
put him in his FIFA team.
He's already put him in his FIFA team. It's our new imminent signing, Rodrigo from Real Madrid. Connor, how are you feeling on that one? First of all, is there cash around for us to do the deal?
Well, just quickly before I answer that, maybe I did read today Donna Cullen is in Hong Kong, and I'm wondering whether she's still involved with this little leak to the press as a special straight after the Gibbs-White failure to get fans excited. I don't know, but I mean,
she's actually hosting an evening at Joe Bananas in Wan Chai tonight in Hong Kong. So there you go. Carry on, Rodrigo.
I mean, obviously it's absolutely ridiculous rumor. To be honest, I mean, I know he's at Madrid and he'll be aiming higher than us, I'm sure. But when I've watched him, I don't actually rate him that much. In sort of that sort of top 10, 20 players that he gets put in. Sometimes, I think obviously it would improve us, but I don't actually think he's world class. But yeah, it's not going to happen, obviously. But yeah, on the cash bit, we could if we wanted to, Dave. We could have fooled him.
Have we got cash knocking around? Because I mean, we may have covered this before, but it's been. I want to bring it back up again. There's people saying that we've got cash issues. Have we?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not talking about the channel because we've got 10p now, but I'm talking about the club.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's similar to what Leon was saying about sell to buy or Gibbo. I can't remember who said it, but this is the normal shite that gets peddled out every window, isn't it? I mean, we finished last year's accounts on the highest cash balance in the league. Obviously, we've got some transfer debt, but given that was off the back of a year with no European football, nowhere near as many concerts, etc., etc. Yeah, now got that. Plus, we've got Champions League money coming in the following year. Plus, we've got a revolving facility with HSBC for 50 million that we could use. Plus, the owners might once put their hand in their pocket, God forbid.
What?
You know, cash is
Well,
far from an issue. If the
Gibbo
cash
did
is an
talk
issue
to
for
Uncle Joe. Yeah, Gibbo
especially
did
for
talk to
everyone.
Uncle Joe about that on the yacht, so that's all good. So, can we just confirm exclusively tonight on this channel, Levynomics has said we have got the cash? Yep.
Yeah, go on.
Yes.
We've got it there. We've got it. I clip it up. We got cash ready to burn. Gibbo, are you excited? Have you? Is your son
I've never watched
excited?
him play. I've never watched him play, Dave. And like I said when we were in the green room, you know, having our Bucks fizz and stuff like that before we started, that we can all remember. Like we're a little bit older than Connor, but we can all sort of remember being 16 and links coming into players. With me, it was more like the Rivaldo. I don't know what it was in your time. You know, we were linked with Rivaldo and Morientes, and you're thinking, here we go, we're getting linked with them. It's on that club chat thing. If I ring them, they're going to tell me we're signing Rivaldo, or on teletext, whatever. And then, so my lad comes down saying, look, I mean, I've never watched this guy play, to be fair, so I don't know what he's like, but he must be okay. He must be better than what we've got. And he's like, Dad, they're saying, you know, it could happen. And I'm like, look, mate, it's a load of rubbish.
And what was his face? What was his face when you said it to your son?
He just sort of went, yeah, I know. And you just think like, I just haven't got it in me to string him along, Dave.
But when you finished a small world ride and he went off there full of wonder because he'd seen Norway in paper mache form.
Yeah.
Did you keep him happy at that point?
Look, Dave, I feel he needs to know now, because we've been there where you keep going, then you get to like your mid-20s and you think, this is all bollocks, isn't it? These big deals just don't happen. It's just nonsense, mate. It's just nonsense. We're never going to sign him, and he will have bigger, better clubs to go to. And that's not me. I'm not trying to slag off Spurs there, but I just think he's going to have better options, isn't he?
Okay, on the smorgasbord so far, we've had 3 offered to you on the smorgasbord. 2 of them have been resoundingly no. Paulinia is a yes, really. Leon, over to you. Will we be spending a packet? Will we get our packet out for Paqueta?
No, I don't think we will. I was trying to work out what I could say in response to that, and decided to be sensible. No, I don't think we'll sign him.
Are you putting a fishing line out there?
There was something like that. There was a line, yeah, for sure.
Correct. Carry on.
There you go. No, I don't think we'll sign him. I'd be, if the price really is 25 million. We ain't getting 2 players off them in the same window. But why are they selling him so cheap? I don't think he's better than Morgan Gibbs-White personally. I think
he's a decent player.
He's decent for sure, but I don't think we'll sign him, and I'm not that fussed by him at all, to be honest.
I remember his debut against us. I'm pretty sure he played against us at the Commonwealth Games Stadium, or wherever it is they are these days. And your mate Højbjerg was fucking around with his boots, and they scored from the throw-in, if I remember correctly. Sorry for swearing. There goes the other 10p.
He was linked with City. He was linked with City for quite a lot of money, wasn't he?
And then they had the charges against him came out, didn't they, and screwed that deal up. But yeah, City were after him. I think in a good team, he's a decent player.
I think he's a decent player.
I mean, I don't think we will go for 2 from West Ham.
I'd love it if we did. I'd love it. I mean, imagine it. Oh,
we haven't done them over, have we? Because let's be honest, they didn't want Kudus. I think is a good player. Like me and Leon, I've said to him, I think Kudus will definitely improve us and definitely improve our front line.
Yeah,
but they didn't want him. They were pretty happy for him to come to us, Kudus. That they needed to move him on. So if they need to move Paqueta on, they won't care about him coming to us. They only do when they don't need to sell. So is it worth testing the water for the money they're talking about? I certainly think it would be.
All right. Well, I think your dog agrees as well there.
Yeah.
Let's okay, now very quickly, although he's not on the smorgasbord, we've been linked to this Leicester player who is, I've forgotten his name already. Anyone can remember
El
his name?
Canusi.
Thank you very much. El Canusi. I've looked at his assists and goals so far in his career. They kind of look not very impressive. El Canusi, Connor, are you excited for a bit of Moroccan spice coming into the stadium?
Not particularly. I mean, he speaks of the type of player that, you know, you're going to get Ben Bowman and the likes tell us to invest in El Canusi stocks early, and he's going to be a baller, and, you know,
he's going to be a baller. I haven't heard that expression in ages.
You know, the classic of us all having to be positive about every player we're linked with. But yeah, I mean, look, he was all right, wasn't he? I mean, I didn't see loads of him because, to be honest, I don't tend to watch Leicester.
He scored against us, didn't he, Connor? He scored against us at
I mean, yeah, perhaps, but you know, I might have scored in that game if I was playing in the 10. So yeah, it's not particularly exciting. It wouldn't shock me if it happened though, because it's a team that's relegated, particularly if
they need money.
He's got a release clause apparently of 25
Yeah, we're good with them release clauses, aren't we?
Well, we're good with the ones that are 25 million. We're fucking terrible with the ones that are 50, 60 million. They don't seem to kind of release the player, but the players that cost half the price, will nail that, no problem.
And apparently he'll be one that Tottenham have had their eye on for some time.
He reminds me of another kind of odd bear, a different position, obviously, but that kind of player where it's just a nothing signing in and around that 25, 30 million. Yeah, in around that 25, 30 million price range. And we just stockpile those players that come in and they don't really do much. And as Connor said, people say, yeah, but he's this or he's that. I think I might be wrong here, but I think he got 5 goals and assists last season. I know Leicester is shit, but come on. We've gone from Morgan Gibbs-White, who's top class or will be top class, I think, to this guy. There's other players out there.
We get them in, treble their wages, and then we can't get rid of them.
Exactly,
and we have a bloated squad again.
I can see it. I can see it happening because he's cheap. He's cheap and he's available and it's a body. I don't want him, but I can see it happening.
All righty, so we've got to get on with this because we're running out of time. We've got to go on to the possible outs. So we're going to go. So we've got 2 for the price of 1 here. So Gibbo. Human, we don't deserve him. Son off to LA City. Gibbo for 15 million. How do you feel about that?
It's time, mate. I love Son. I don't want him to stay. I don't want to see him regress. I only want him to stay. You just
don't deserve him, Gibbo.
If he's going to stay and be used correctly, and we can get the best out of him, and he's happy with that. Otherwise, I think time for the club to move on and time for him to move on. But once again, if you get rid of Son, an elite finisher, an elite finisher he's been for Spurs, you get Son out and you buy somebody. You're not going to get someone who peaks Son, who was as good as it, but you get someone who definitely could get to peak Son.
Got his replacement already,
I think we will. But, if I think you sell Son, you go and sign, because Tao can play up top as well. You go and sign someone else really top on that wing because our front 3 is very, very average. Kudos does improve us. I do like, I like Solanke as a player, but yeah, if Son goes, which I think he should, we need to be getting someone in to replace him, which we won't. And Mikey Moore.
You're not getting. Sorry, we're going to move Mike. Sorry, Gibbo, to cut across. We're going to go Mikey Moore somewhere else. Apologies.
Okay. No, that's fine. I've said my piece now. You carry
on.
Right.
So now I gave you Sonny for a special reason because you don't deserve him, and nor do I, apparently. Right, Connor, you've got the world at your feet. You're a bright young star, full of potential, and you're going to get a loan move. Do you go to a substandard rubbish league where you just play easy opposition apart from 1 or 2, or maybe go on a loan to Germany in the Bundesliga? Mikey Moore, what would you do, Connor?
I thought you were talking about me at first then. When you
that's subtle humour. It's called subtlety.
Yeah, look, I think I think Rangers is a good move for him, actually. I think You know, Scottish League, you get kicked a bit. It'll help him beef up a bit. He's
Become
also
a man.
less attacking, possession-based football.
Right.
So, look, I think he's not ready for the Bundesliga personally. A team like Dortmund, because I'm not sure he'd get enough minutes. Whereas at Rangers, I think he hopefully will get minutes. And I also, they're in Europe as well, so there's that piece. So, I think it's a good move. I think he definitely has to go on loan. I think he's another one that's slightly overrated right now by our fan base.
Oh, hang on a minute. That is controversial. Leon, do you agree with Connor there? Is Mikey Moore overrated?
I do agree with Connor, actually. I think he isn't ready to go and play in Germany. He's 17. He's still a kid. And I think Rangers is a good move for him. Do I think he's overrated? Again, being serious for a very small moment, I know people genuinely in the game that a couple of years, actually, 18 months ago, told me this guy would be a first team player at Tottenham within 2 years. He is really highly rated. It's hard. He's a kid. We've seen glimpses of it, but even when I know it's a pre-season friendly, but when we watch the Luton game, you think, come on, just do something. And they were all shit. But he didn't stand out. Whereas again, pre-season, you saw the highlights of the Goon game, and that kid that's like 15, he looked he looked really good. He looked really good for them. So I don't know. We'll see what happens over the next 12 months. But it's how many kids at the age of 17 that were really highly rated come through and actually make a really good career. Hopefully he does. But no, he definitely needs to move. And Son, he's got to go. I'd have sold him 12 months ago, to be honest, and tried to get more money for him.
Might have sold him 2 years ago, but I was told I didn't deserve him, and I know nothing, and I'm an ambulance chaser, etc., etc. Right, moving along to a goalkeeper who doesn't seem to have had his first shave yet. Rumours of a loan, I think, is it to Gibbo?
Leo, isn't it? Look,
Leo, whatever.
Leo. I think he's a decent keeper. I like him. I think his shot stopping needed to get a bit better. But if he wants to play, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, I find it a bit of a strange link. But if he's pushing to play, maybe that's what he wants. Maybe he really backed himself and thought he'd come in. He didn't do too bad while Vicario was out and thinks he should be playing. Who knows? But I'd like to see him given a chance, a bit more of a chance, if I'm honest. I think eventually he will take over from Vicario.
I think Kerry, I'm just checking Kerry's talking about Kinski and not the next departure, King Charles III. Connor, we sold Josh Keeley to Luton. We talk about Kinski going out on loan. Again, we're just trying to make ends meet, the cash balance, etc., etc. Why would we put Kinski on loan, Connor?
I think this one's just total bollocks, to be honest. I can't see it. I mean, it would make zero logical sense whatsoever, wouldn't it? I mean, I think there's a chance. To be honest, I think there's a chance that Kinski displaces Vicario in the team this year. Just because he's so much better with his feet. Now, obviously, it's helpful if the goalkeeper can also save shots. I know that's a revolutionary statement to make, but I think if he improves on the shot stopping a bit, I think there's a very good chance he could displace Vicario, given the way that he plays with the ball at his feet and crossing as well. He's better than Vicario at claiming crosses for sure.
Yeah. Leon, Kinski, does it make any sense for him to go on loan?
No, but we don't. The way we operate doesn't make any sense. I don't think it's. I don't think he's going to go on loan. I think he has the opportunity to be a number one. Felt a bit sorry for him, but he come in and then he's playing Ange ball with defenders completely exposed. And he's a young kid in a new league. He didn't come into a good environment. I don't rate Vicario. I think he stays, and I think he could probably replace him. In truth.
Okay, Gibbo. Whilst you're away, Spurs Kings TV ran a kind of YouTube content nomination awards show, and I've got some really good news for you. The best overseas show, we didn't even get on the podium. The Hotspur Hippie the Blakey from On the Buses of Tottenham YouTube beat us. So with that in mind, and plus the fact plus the Supporters Trust have got to meet the podcasters, and we're not even on that one as well. Our ex-wife is on our ex-wife's on the podium. You know that. So with that in mind, and such great content, it's dragging out and killing a joke. King Charles III, is he on his way out of the club?
Back to Germany, mate. He's even got the wrong shaped ball he's knocking about with, mate. So, yeah, let's have him back to Germany.
And in time-honoured tradition, who's that lady next to him? Because that's the question I ask every week.
Who is? I can't see. Is it the girl who's on the NFL on a Sunday on Sky?
There we go. We've covered that base off. I've managed to get that into the smorgasbord. I'm struggling after that. Right, we haven't got long left at all. So maybe what we can do is reasons to be cheerful.
Yes. This is what the show's all about, isn't it?
It is. So Leon, what's our reasons to be cheerful at the moment?
I don't know.
We're playing PSG in 16 days or whatever for the European Super Cup. Does that fill you with cheer?
Yeah, we've never been in one of them before.
Not really, because I'm not that fussed about that. We're going to get absolutely done. I'm more concerned about Thursday and being embarrassed against them lot, to be honest with you. I can't find much to be. We're alive, yeah, that is something to be cheerful about. But really, the window's been a shambles. It doesn't look like anything positive or too much positive is going to happen. I think it could be a long season. I think the only potential thing to be cheerful about is hopefully the change for Tottenham movement can kick on and put some more pressure on the midget that controls us.
Reasons to be cheerful, Connor?
The Bill Nick gates are up.
Yeah. Good. That's good. Anything else?
It's tough, isn't it? I just think the weeks are going past and it's getting worse, isn't it? I don't know what you guys were like. Save for the Europa last season, got to the stage where I was watching games and just sitting there completely despondent.
Yeah,
and you're a season ticket holder as well.
I am. Yeah, desperate for the season to end. Luckily, was saved by Bilbao, but
it's not raining.
And then now you're sort of desperate for summer to end, so that then we'll be desperate for the season to end again to come into the. It's like Groundhog Day, isn't it? But yeah, that's upbeat, isn't it?
I think he's got kudos. Kudos is obviously improves the squad. Vuskovic, young kid coming in, but we've still got Langer in charge of transfers and those sorts of dealings. So we should all be cheerful about that. Mm-hmm. I'll be working whilst the Tottenham Arsenal friendly is on. Mm-hmm. So I won't be able to watch or really see what's going on. So that's another reason to be cheerful. And we
that's
are
not
getting
really,
we are
not
getting
a reason
towards,
to be cheerful, is it? Come on.
We are getting towards, we're pushing towards the transfer window. The time's ticking down, and usually then that's when we start to explore opportunities in the transfer market, isn't it? So we're bound to get Chilwell still available. There's players like that around who, some clubs will need to move players on so they can get better players in, so we can hopefully, take their shit to fill some bodies. But yeah, so reasons to be cheerful. There's quite a few.
Okay, and if Lenny Kravitz can give Kerry King back the phone, that would be nice. Thanks, Lenny. Don't come on here singing your songs. Don't like Lenny Kravitz. Leon, are you a Lenny Kravitz fan?
No, not in the slightest. No.
Good. We're aligned. We're very aligned. So anyway, if I can say reasons to be cheerful, we're in Hong Kong at the moment. I lived there for about 5 years. My youngest son was born there. I'm trying to work out where they are. Donna Cullen's obviously down Joe Bananas and One Chai tonight, and she'll be singing a song with the covers band, some very good covers band in there, so she'll be happy. So it's great to see Donna is actually back in the club. She was away for a while. And I saw that, and another reason to be cheerful, I saw that Leslie King had a Meet the Local Dogs Day in Hong Kong. And now I'm not being a 90s sexist, to be clear. There was an event where he had dogs there. Donna may have been in the background. So Ledley has gone dogging in Hong Kong.
Oh,
and that's, well, I'm just saying, the dogs are there. What's the matter? So hopefully that might mean for us that we might get Dog of the Week back on, because Donna is back. Donna's back. Daniel Levy's back, because me and Leon were worried that with Cherrington, Thin Eye, and all that kind of stuff, that his influence was less over the club. So what's been reassuring for me over this window so far, and the reason to be cheerful, is that Levy is fully at the wheel, and me and Leon are very happy about that. And those are reasons to be cheerful.
And Dog of the Week will be back soon, every other week when the season starts.
I hope so. But at the end of the day, and well done, Kevin. There's nothing like a dad joke. Well done. Now, it's a possibility, and I'm waiting to hear from our good friend in Vienna, that me and him might be doing, HC and I might be doing a live watch-along, God help us, for the Arsenal match, because it is on at 9:30 Sydney time tomorrow night. But stay tuned for that. And that's it, really. With nothing else to talk about, unless there's anything else anyone wants to talk about on this show.
I don't think there's room for any more excitement, is there, Dave? Tonight we've really hit the high notes of the goings on at Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, it don't get much better than that, does it?
I mean, Leon and Connor have been commendably grumpy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're back for your holiday. I'm in winter, right? But these two, it's summer, gents.
I found it quite fun.
Isn't it? It brings out the worst.
I found it quite fun because I'm jet lagged to fuck. I just had a real crap day at work. I thought I'm right in the mood, to get to rip into it. But everybody else is done their part, and it's been lovely to listen to.
I repeat.
Do you reckon next week when we come on, lads, whoever's on next week, do you think last question, do you think we'll be talking about us signing someone?
No.
Yes.
I'm going to say no. It's 3-1. And on that positive note, I think we should end tonight's show. Connor, nice to see you. Thanks for coming on. And we are definitely rubbing off on you because you are getting much better at being grumpy and not having a lot positive to say. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Leon, as always, golden. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Good to see you.
Yeah. And Dave, obviously you like me to welcome everyone into the show, but you're the real host. You are the... you push the show along. So thanks.
Hang on a second. Don't forget the 10p, the 11p that I brought.
The 11p you've earned. The 10p we've lost. I've had a message here off Leon, and he said at the end of the month when he gets paid, he'll put the 10p back into our account for dropping a C-bomb. But Dave, all the work you've done whilst I've been away, mate. Thanks for that. We'll obviously try to push on. Do more decent shows for everyone, get more content out, easier when the season starts. When the transfer window opens and we start signing players, then we'll start getting more viewers and start producing more content. But Do
you feel suitably updated about our transfer activity now? At the end
I do. I feel like we could have done another hour and a half with going in depth on the players we've signed, but Onwards to next week. So, as usual, folks, all we got to say is, come on, you Spurs.
Come on,
you Spurs.